As one of Naruto's signature ninjutsu, the Rasengan is one of the most iconic abilities in all of manga, and while it may seem just as simple as something like the Kamehameha or the Spirit Gun at face value, the Rasengan is deceptively complex, especially considering all of the variations for it that Naruto ended up developing later on in the series. I doubt I need to tell you this since you can clearly see it for yourself, but to give a basic summary of the Rasengan, it's a compact spinning ball of chakra created and held in the user's hand, and this description is supported by its name, as Rasengan literally translates to spiraling sphere. To describe it in more detail, the Rasengan is an A-rank ninjutsu modeled after the Bijudama and created by the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze. Minato's goal when creating the technique was to reach the highest level of shape transformation achievable, which is a goal he likely managed to fulfill since no other jutsu aside from its variants have managed to duplicate the Rasengan's purpose or power. While it might not seem nearly as intimidating as something as ridiculous as the tailed beast bomb, the Rasengan is still pretty formidable and has shown itself to be pretty versatile when used in the right hands and in combination with the right abilities. Many of this jutsu's strengths are bolstered by how easy it is to combine it with other abilities, which is due in no small part both to how little time it takes to form a Rasengan thanks to the lack of hand seals needed to perform it, and the lack of chakra needed to sustain it after it's already been formed. Furthermore, the Rasengan has no nature or natures tied to it by default, meaning under normal circumstances it is neither strong against nor weak to any elemental ninjutsu. This allows the Rasengan to be applied against any enemy and in any situation, as its grinding and piercing power is capable of tearing through many other ninjutsu that it might come into contact with, and its lack of any disadvantages against any makes it hard to counter. The Rasengan isn't without its own flaws though. Like many other ninjutsu, upon its conception, the Rasengan was tied down by many problems. Applying a nature transformation to it was thought to be almost impossible because of how much focus is placed on the shape transformation aspect. It couldn't be thrown, meaning it could only be used at close range. It was incredibly small, meaning that a user of it isn't left with very many ways of hitting a person with it, and the learning curve for it was incredibly steep. The amount of chakra control needed to learn the Rasengan is immense, as a person needs to learn how to rotate their chakra multiple directions at once, increase the amount of and density of the chakra that they pour into the Rasengan, and contain it all into the iconic sphere shape that the Rasengan is known for, all at the same time. Not the easiest thing in the world to do. Now, like I said, thanks to the Rasengan's simple nature, it's very easy to combine it with other ninjutsu, and it's thanks to this that the Rasengan's various users were able to bypass all of these problems over time. By using shadow clones in tandem with Rasengan, Naruto was able to bypass this learning curve by having his shadow clones contain the chakra he was creating into the shape of the Rasengan, and he was also able to apply a nature to his Rasengan by having his clones focus on adding the wind element to it while he focused on maintaining its shape. Minato was able to almost completely nullify the Rasengan's range limit by combining it with the flying Raijin technique, as he could form his Rasengan before immediately teleporting anywhere he chose to, allowing him to effectively attack from anywhere he wanted. Boruto Uzumaki has also been able to make the Rasengan into a ranged attack by passively applying the wind element to it while he's forming it. This allows him to, for some reason, throw it out of his hand, and also increases its destructive and homing capabilities by a pretty decent amount. And as for the size thing, I mean, a lot of people just decided to make the Rasengan bigger, and it worked. Applying all of these changes to the Rasengan and using it in combination with so many jutsu has led to the creation of many variations of it, the most noteworthy being the Fuuton Rasen Shuriken, which was the result of Naruto applying the wind nature to it. This made the Rasengan into a deadly S-class attack, so powerful that Tsunade decided it was best to classify it as a forbidden jutsu. The Rasen Shuriken tears its target apart at the cellular level, so it's best not to sleep on it. This is a really strong jutsu. Other variants include the Odama Rasengan, which is just a bigger Rasengan, the Odama Rasengan Tairengan, which is just a bigger Rasengan except times 1,000, the Planetary Rasengan, which is a combination of an Odama Rasengan and 3 regular-sized Rasengans that hover around it, the Vanishing Rasengan, or Boruto's wind release enhanced version of the Rasengan, which can be thrown and will disappear mid-flight before relentlessly tracking its target, the Rasengan, which is just 2 Rasengan, the Rasengan, which is like 5 or 6 Rasengan, the Rasenkyugan, which is where Naruto creates one big Rasengan and uses the extra arms provided by the Kyuubi Chakra mode to pull any targets into it, the Magnet Release Rasengan, which has increased suction and tracking power and can immobilize targets upon contact, and then there are all of the variants of the Rasen Shuriken, like the Odama Rasen Shuriken, Lava-style Rasen Shuriken, Magnet-style Rasen Shuriken, Bijudama Rasen Shuriken, even a mini Rasen Shuriken. It's a little bit nuts how many different kinds of Rasengan Naruto made. There are also 2 that Naruto didn't intentionally create, but were just byproducts of him using the Rasengan while in a different state. Senpo Rasengan, or Sage Art Rasengan, obviously the result of using the Rasengan while in Sage mode, and Shui Rasengan, or Vermilion Rasengan, the result of using the Rasengan while inside of the Nine-Tails Chakra Cloak. Neither of these variants are fundamentally different from the Rasengan, though. They're both just stronger versions of it. Now, there's another variant of the Rasengan that was created unintentionally when Kakashi tried to apply the lightning element to it. It's called Chidori. I'll be covering it in a different video. Thank you guys as always for watching the video all the way to the end. If you're new here and you enjoyed the video, click those like and subscribe buttons. It would really help your boy out. Maybe hit up my Twitter and Patreon if you really enjoy my stuff and want to see more about what I'm doing. And most importantly, have a fantastic rest of the day. Talk to you guys later, everybody. Swagkage out. Bye.